and some data we can see improve the performance of the something like that. So this thing about food for different
under the kind supervision of Dr. Mohammad Ali from Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amravati. These are the contents of my presentation. Theme of hierarchical cryptography, the random secret commercialization, hierarchical approach of encryption, then implement in that dynamics of decentralization, then authentication models, key authentication models based on cryptography, and internal distance associated. The basic model of digital cryptography states that a secret is encrypted with a number of pieces. These pieces are called as secrets. Rather, we could say that secret is shared among a group of participants. So, number of participants will determine the depth of the encryption. In simple scheme, a secret is shared among two participants at the minimum level, and at the outset we can increase the secret with n number of secrets. So in simple digital cryptography scheme, if we see, this is a simple example of digital cryptography. We have a secret on the left hand side that is shared among two participants. So this secret is generating two shares called as share 1 and share 2, and if we superimpose them, superimposition is putting one share over another, we could create a secret. So on the right hand side we have a decoded secret. Thing is that we have the same information in the decoded secret that is present in the original one, but the differences are observed. Like we have some kind of noise in the background, and as well as the secret is enlarged.
Please maintain silence.
When any secret undergoes encryption using digital cryptography, expansion is taking place by any of the digital cryptography schemes. So this is a 2x2 expansion of any pixel of the secret. There are three standard digital cryptography schemes in the literature. The basic scheme example we have already seen, that is 2x2 digital cryptography scheme. In this scheme, original secret is encrypted among two shares. As I already mentioned, share is nothing but a piece of information. So if a secret is encrypted among two shares, 2x2 scheme needs that both the shares must be present while revealing the secret, when we reconstruct the secret. So previous example, this is nothing but the example of 2x2 digital cryptography scheme. We have share 1 and share 2 as a participants, and to reconstruct the original secret using these two shares, we need both of them. The second scheme is K by N scheme. In this digital cryptography scheme, original secret is encrypted among n number of shares. If we have availability of n number of participants, and among those n shares, any K share can reconstruct the secret. Say I encrypt a secret among 5 individuals, and out of those 5, if only 3 individuals are present, then only a secret can be reconstructed. And the third scheme is K out of K secret sharing scheme, a digital cryptography scheme. In that, the secret is encrypted among K number of shares, and it is necessary that all those K shares must be present when reconstructing the secret. This is an example of K by K scheme, where the original secret is encrypted among 3 shares, and if we combine any 2 shares, we observe here that the secret is not revealed or reconstructed, but if we combine all these 3 shares, we could reveal the secret. But while revealing the secret, we observe that the quality of the revealed secret is not similar or not equivalent to the original one. Also, we are getting the expanded version of original secret. When we apply any secret sharing scheme, the standard types of shares are defined in the area of digital cryptography. There are 3 standard types of shares defined in the literature: horizontal shares, vertical shares, and diagonal shares. The fourth kind of type of share is introduced by us, that is a random share. We will see one by one. In horizontal shares, consider that in original secret, I would like to define here that secrets we are considering as the images, binary images or grayscale images. Consider that this black is a single pixel present in my secret image. If we want to encrypt it using horizontal shares, so it will be represented in share 1 with a horizontal pattern. In share 2 it is represented again with a horizontal pattern in share 2. So imagine that if we superimpose these two shares one above another, if I keep one share above another, I will get an entire black pixel just similar to this pattern using horizontal share. But if we want to share a white pixel, we cannot share white pixel without help of black pixel. So these are the shares of white pixel, and same patterns if superimposed we will get this revealed secret of a white pixel. So in horizontal shares, the appearance of the pixels in the share is horizontal. In diagonal shares, appearance of the pixels is diagonal in nature, and in vertical they are appearing in vertical 2 by 2 pattern. So this is the encryption of single black pixel in original one. If we superimpose it, we will get the entire black pixel. Only difference is that this black pixel is the expanded version of original one. And if you want to encrypt the white pixel, the same pattern is to be taken with the help of black pixel, and you are getting a decoded white pixel using black color. And fourth kind of share type, random share, is introduced by us. We have taken any random combination of 4 by 4 pixel matrix using black and white pixel. Some pixels we consider black, some pixels we consider white. There is no standard, this is no standard method. So randomly I have selected some black and some white pixel, so that if I superimpose them, if I stack them, I will get a complete black pixel, and if I stack the same pattern one over another, I will get the similar pattern, assuming that it is the decoding of a white pixel. So I expect that everybody is getting, everybody is interpreting what is this white pixel. It is a decoded white pixel with the help of some black pixels. With this information from literature, we got motivated that why not to encrypt the information using visual cryptography in number of levels, because existing visual cryptography schemes are highly suffering with the pixel expansion issue. We are seeing in the example that original secret is getting expanded. Secondly, we observe some sort of noise at the background. We call it as a grain effect. So grain effect is required to be handled. Then the number of users involved is dependent upon the scheme used. So we want to reduce the number of users so that decryption should not be dependent upon many individuals. Then use of transparencies is compulsory in the traditional visual cryptography schemes. It means that in earlier days we were using the transparencies of OHP to deliver the presentations. So traditional visual cryptography want that every share is required to be printed on a transparency, and then those shares will be superimposed together and you could reveal the secret. So we are trying here to remove the compulsion of transparencies, use of transparencies, and the novel authentication model using hierarchical approach we are proposing here. With this motivation, we defined 5 major objectives that we decided in the beginning. Why not to design our own secret generator? Those are secrets which will be encrypted by hierarchical approach. So we designed one algorithm called a random secret generator algorithm. It is capable to generate n number of secrets with varying length. Second objective is design and experimentation of layered approach of visual cryptography. Here we analyze the constraint, that pixel expansion ratio, how much it is. We try to reduce it and remove it. Then we analyze the existence of grain effect, the removal of it, and memory requirement as well as contrast level of the reconstructed secret. In the next objective, we try to refine the results obtained with the hierarchical approach, and 3 authentication models are defined using hierarchical visual cryptography. So this was our first experiment of random secret generator. Logic used is very simple. Our aim was to generate any random secret of any length. So we have taken 26 characters, uppercase letters, 26 lowercase letters, and 10 digits. So in all we have a character set of 62, and we design a binary monochrome image for every character in Paint, stored them at some location, and we wrote a simple logic in the form of RSG algorithm, that we know the ASCII range of capital letters, we know the ASCII range of lowercase as well as digits. So initially this algorithm is decides what length of secret you want. Say I want a secret length 5. So one by one this algorithm generates a random number. We will check the range of, we will check that random number to which range it belongs. Suppose my random number belongs to the first range, it is asking range of small case letters A to Z, then that particular character is appended to my secret, again moving to the next character and so on. So this algorithm will generate a random secret. For example, these are the secrets generated for length 4. Next we have generated the secrets for length 5. These are the secrets for length 6. It means we can generate a secret of any length, and for 62 characters, if you want to generate a secret of length n, so total possible secrets will be n raised to 62. Like for secret length 4, we have the possibilities of a number of secrets 4 raised to 62 and so on. So this table indicates the possible number of possible secrets for varying length and the elapsed time required to generate those secrets. Now using these secrets, next experiment we started with the design of hierarchical visual cryptography. So starting with the basic concept of visual cryptography, a given secret is encrypted among two shares using 2 by 2 scheme. We thought that these two shares should be independently encrypted again among 4 shares. So at the second level of hierarchical visual cryptography, we are getting 4 independent shares. Share 1, share 2, share 3 and share 4. Now when the encryption is taking place using this hierarchical approach, a question in front of us was what kind of secret is to be encrypted, because we have a wide range of secrets. Some secrets may be colored secrets, some may be biometric, some may be textual passwords and so on. So we decided 3 major types of secrets for encryption. First type is a random secret which is generated by our first experiment RSG. Then second type of secret, we have the biometric information. IRIS database we got from Dr. Ajay Kumar Pathak from IIT Delhi. And third kind of secret we encrypted. These are the signature patterns of the human individuals. We collected the signature patterns of our employees and we encrypted them using this hierarchical approach. So 3 different types of secrets we are going to encrypt using our scheme. Now when secret is encrypted using hierarchical approach, first we require to define our visual cryptography scheme, how it is going to work. So this is one simple model of visual cryptography defined by us, that secret is getting encrypted in 2 shares at the first level. So logic behind that, we use the random share patterns. In the beginning we categorize the share patterns among 4. So 3 patterns get standard. We introduce the 4th random pattern such that each 0 here is indicating a black pixel and each occurrence of 1 is indicating a white pixel. So if I have a single black pixel in original secret, that black pixel is getting encrypted among a block of 4 by 4 pixels in a share. It means that a single black pixel is getting expanded to 16 pixels. But as it was a second experiment with visual cryptography, our aim was only to get a randomness among the share. This is a basic property of visual cryptography, that shares we get, that should be random, that should not reveal any kind of information. So we started with this random pattern, and while encrypting in this algorithm, to get more randomness, we allow different share patterns in the odd rows and different share patterns in the even rows, so that again randomness in the shares will be increased. So these are the results we got by encryption at the first level. Say my random secret is 07YOE, suppose. If it is encrypted using our scheme, we are observing 2 shares. Those are random. You cannot reveal any information. But if you superimpose them, if you stack them one above another, you can observe the secret. So for superimposition we use 2 methods. By AND method we are getting the secret reconstructed. By OR method also we are getting secret reconstructed. So experiment was successful in encryption using visual cryptography, but again it has many problems, that we are observing here the additional black pixels at the background. This is called as a graying effect. At the same time, the expansion ratio is very high. So these are the constraints which we analyze. The complete expansion ratio observed by this algorithm is 1:16, means single pixel of original secret is getting expanded to 16 pixels. Then graying effect is present. The secret size is any, and type of share we use here is random. These are the execution time elapsed required for encryption of secret of different size. Now, keeping this constraint in mind that it is a huge expansion ratio as well as grain effect is present, our next experiment, third experiment, started to reduce the expansion ratio and to remove the grain effect so that hierarchical approach will not be affected. If we go with the expansion ratio 1:16, what will happen? At the first level, original will get expanded to 16 and at the second level it will get expanded to 32. And as hierarchy goes on, expansion will be more. It definitely affects the memory requirement also. So we are here trying in this experiment to reduce the expansion ratio. So these are the objectives of the second experiment with VC, that reduction of expansion ratio from 1:16 and reducing the memory requirement. Now instead of going for a random share patterns, we have used here all three types of standard share patterns, that horizontal share, diagonal share and the vertical share. So if I take the encryption of white pixel, so this is a horizontal pattern. Matrix 1 and matrix 2 indicates a horizontal pattern. Here also it indicates a horizontal pattern. So share 1 first matrix, if we superimpose or stack with the share 2 of the first matrix, what we will get? We will get a white pixel decoded. Similarly, if I superimpose this matrix 1 of share 1 with matrix 1 of share 2, we will get a complete 0, 0, 0, 0 matrix, means complete black form of matrix. So these random patterns we have used. Random means randomly calling one by one, either horizontal or vertical or diagonal share patterns, and the logic of the algorithm is same, only the pixel patterns have been changed in this algorithm. So in this algorithm we first normalize our secret, then for each black pixel we are selecting the shares from this collection matrix 1 to matrix 6 randomly, and for each white pixel again we are selecting the pattern from the given set of matrices randomly. Again here the retrieval and reconstruction is done using logical and non-logical OR operation. Now here is the secret, we have taken as a signature pattern instead of random secret. Random secret is also applicable to this algorithm. If we encrypt using this second experiment, so we are getting the random shares here, no information is revealed, and if we stack them, superimpose them, we are getting a secret revealed. So by some extent the expansion ratio is reduced. Now it has become 1:4. As the share types we have seen here, each pixel is getting expanded to 4. So instead of 1:16, it is 1:4 now. Hence pixel expansion is reduced. Here is the comparison of execution time with the previous experiment, that for the same secret size, earlier due to 1:16, definitely the time required to generate the share will be more with respect to this, and reconstruction time is also slightly more with respect to this. So for different size of secrets, we have the time elapsed for 1:16 and 1:4. So problems in this second experiment was again grain effect is not at all removed. We observed in the reconstructed secret here that grain effect is also present and still some expansion is also there. So again it will affect the hierarchical approach. So why not to reduce a complete grain effect and to remove the pixel expansion, so that at the end the reconstructed secret will give us the same size as that of original one. Hence we came here with the third experiment of visual cryptography called as an expansionless. Now here we do not use static share patterns. What we have done, we decided a window of size 2 by 2, and that we navigated among the secret. That in that block, if my pixels are 0, 0, 0, 0, means complete block is black. So how to encrypt a black block? We know the pattern horizontal, vertical and diagonal. So any random combination we are calling, that is defined in this in terms of the equations here, that these are the for black pixels, these are for white pixels, and these are for the random patterns. So using the same set of pixels here, window is navigated through this algorithm, and if all the pixels in that block are black, means 0, then we are encrypting using matrix 1, means first matrix. If all the pixels in that 2 by 2 window are white, then we are encrypting using the second matrix, and if the pixel combination are random, means if the pixel in 2 by 2 block is 0, 1 and 0, 0, then third equation will be used, and so on. So with this expansionless approach, we are getting the decrypted secret size which is exactly similar to the original one. And this experiment we have done in the Octave environment. We were not familiar with the Octave environment, but during coursework in 2012, Dr. Urmila Shavankar madam gave one lecture and she introduced us with the Octave environment, and it is very comfortable. In fact, it is an open source software. We can experiment everything that we are experimenting with MATLAB, that is also possible in the Octave. So Octave gave us the results of expansionless size of secret is similar to the size of shares, and reconstructed secret is also having the same size. Suppose I encrypt the random secret GZSP, share size is same. So size we have managed. That expansion is not at all present here, but the problem is easily noticed here that the shares are depicting the boundaries of the secrets. In earlier case, the shares were random. They were not giving any information about original secret, but expansion was large. Here expansion is eliminated, but the boundaries are highlighted and one can easily recognize a secret. So again this new problem arrived and we resolved this by different technique. So in hierarchical approach, now this is the first level only of encryption. We encrypted one secret among two shares. Again these two will be encrypted among four, and finally we could reveal a secret. So in hierarchical encryption at the end, we have total 3 levels of encryption. At the third level, these 4 shares, among those 4 shares, we are combined any 3 shares to form a key share, and then superimposition is taking place. So in this experiment, aim is to remove a grain effect, but the quality of secret, the revealed secret we are getting, it is very poor. So this is a model we propose for hierarchical visual cryptography. That secret is applied to hierarchical visual cryptography scheme. Initially it encrypts among 2 shares. These 2 shares are again independently encrypted. Finally we are getting 4 shares. It is a second level of encryption, and at the third level, any 3 shares, I have taken second, third and fourth, any 3 shares are combined to form a key share, and then finally superimposition will take place among A and B, that is defined by HVC decoder here. So superimposition is taking place using share A as well as B. So key share block we define here, it is generated by this logic that it is a combination of 3 shares, share 1, share 2 and share 3. The pixel values in each of the share is either 0 or 1. So if summation of all the pixel values of this share, if it is less than or equal to 1, then only key share pixel value will be 0. Otherwise key share pixel value will be 1. By this logic we form the contents of key share. Now here is the result of hierarchical encryption. We have taken random secret. In the first level these are the 2 shares, but no expansion, still in the shares grain effect. Then second level, each share is encrypted separately. It is encrypted among 2, second one is encrypted among 2, and this is a formation of key share. It is formed by combination of second, third and fourth share, and finally it is a reconstructed secret. So in reconstructed secret, we properly handle 2 parameters. First is the expansion ratio. There is no expansion at all. Second one is the grain effect. Grain effect is completely removed. In the revealed secret, we do not observe additional black pixels at the background. But the third problem we identify here is that there is loss of information in the reconstructed secret. As it is a textual password, one can easily recognize that it is GZSP, but suppose it is an iris information or any signature pattern, this loss of information will not be tolerated. So again we have gone for the new experiment to remove this problem. This graph is indicating the concentration of black pixel among all the entities throughout the encryption. So if we compare the concentration of black pixel only of original secret and the revealed secret, we could observe that revealed secret is having a very poor concentration of black pixel with respect to secret information. It clearly indicates that you have a loss of information in the black pixel. And here is the concentration of white pixels. As we have large number of white pixels in the revealed secret, it is a clear indication that grain effect is removed. If grain effect is present, definitely concentration of black pixel will be high. Now to deal with the loss of information in previous approach, we introduced a threshold based approach in the encryption process, and this has gave us a result without any loss. So aim is to improve the quality of revealed secret using thresholding approach. Model is same, only the scheme has been changed. instead of simple hierarchical approach, we have a threshold based hierarchical approach here, and the encryption is taking place in a similar manner. But one more change we have done here in key share generator. Earlier it was in the form of condition that if summation is less than or equal to 1, then key share pixel value will be 0, otherwise it will be 1. But this time it is quite different. Manually we have checked for this combination. There are total 8 possible combinations for key share. If all the pixels are 0 in the 3 shares, the revealed key share pixel value will be 1, and if all the pixels are white in the 3 shares, then the revealed pixel value will be 0. So this is a model of thresholding approach. To this model we apply any secret, either biometric secret, random secret, or the signature pattern. First of all, secret dethering is done. Secret dethering is nothing but the normalization of a secret. I converted my grayscale secret only in a binary form. That's it, nothing else. Then pixel selection process is taking place based on the random number generated that we have seen in the previous algorithm of feature cryptography. Suppose I generate some random number alpha here in this algorithm. That random number alpha, and initially I have to decide a threshold. In our approach we have decided a threshold of 0.5. Now why 0.5? It was again a big question in front of us. We started experimenting the threshold values ranging from 0 to 1. So if we take the threshold value more close to 0, my shares are having more black tendency. And if I choose the threshold value near to 1, the shares are having more white tendency. So compatible value was 0.5. With this threshold value, we are getting the appropriate secret reconstructed, which is exactly similar to the original. So random number generated by the algorithm is compared with the threshold. If it is greater, then P is assigned a Boolean value, either 0 or 1. So if this condition is true, P will be assigned 1. If this condition is false, P will be assigned 0. And we know 1 means white and 0 means black. So this is the assignment that if we select any pixel among that original information, then share 1 will be assigned P for the white pixel, and share 2 will be again assigned P. And if for black pixel we are going for, share 1 will be assigned negation P and share 2 will be assigned P. Finally we are outputting the shares. Now here are the results of threshold approach. The information, secret information supplied here is grayscale. It is the iris information. Second image is indicating the dethering, secret dethering. Size is maintained, and the information is maintained only. It has been converted to the binary representation. Now these are the shares of level 1. One can observe that these are all random patterns. We cannot observe here any boundary of a secret. Now these are the shares at the second level, and this is a key share we have formed by the combination of second, third and fourth. And finally this is a revealed secret. So if we compare the original secret and revealed secret, we have computed the mean square error, and we are successful in getting the mean square error as 0. It means that there is no distance among the original secret and the reconstructed secret. Now this is a database given by Dr. Amit Kumar Pathak from IIT Delhi. He gave me the authentication to access that iris information. Then these are all the default secrets. These are the key shares we have generated by thresholding approach, and these are all the remaining shares. If we observe this model, at the end of model we have only 2 shares. This is the remaining share. We gave a name as a user share, because we want to propose an authentication model, and for authentication the user has to be given something. Hence this particular entity will be handed over to the user, and this is a key share. So at the end we are getting only 2 shares, and this screenshot indicates these are the key shares and these are the user shares. Both are random, and these are the revealed secrets, which are very similar to the original secrets. Now these are the parameters which we have improved through thresholding approach of hierarchical encryption. The pixel expansion ratio is removed, and graying effect is also eliminated. Mean square error we computed between the original secret and the reconstructed secret. It is 0. As mean square error is 0, peak signal to noise ratio is obtained as infinity, and refinement of key share is done, so that we have reduced, by refinement we have reduced the graying effect. By this means we have computed the mean square error and peak signal to noise ratio. I is nothing but our original secret and K is the reconstructed secret. It is nothing but the distance computation among those. This traditional visual cryptography schemes and our approach. So traditional visual cryptography scheme, we were observing the mean square error, due to which graying effect was present and pixel expansion was also present, and the number of shares were not decided. One can have any number of shares by this scheme. Type of shares generated, sometimes they are random, sometimes they are meaningful. Meaningful means instead of this share, this random share, I may have image of bird, image of flower. So I want to secrete the information about bird. So in the shares, I may represent the information about flower, suppose, just like a steganography. That is the meaning of meaningful shares. And in our approach, PHVC and THVC, our approaches, the type of shares are random. The values of for second experiment, we did not get the peak signal to noise ratio as infinity, but in the thresholding approach, we are successfully achieving peak signal to noise ratio as infinity. Now this is a comparison among these two approaches. The thresholding approach consumes less amount of time during execution with respect to the plain hierarchical visual cryptography. Now moving towards the authentication model using hierarchical approach, we are proposing here 3 different authentication models. But before that, concept in our mind was, when user is coming for authentication using hierarchical visual cryptography, user will come with a share, and that share is in the form of image. And when authentication takes place, image has to be matched with the key share. If image is getting matched with the another image, hence memory requirement will be more. So we try to reduce this memory requirement by converting every share in a form of 32 character string, text string, by means of hashing mechanism. So we found MD5 as a comfortable hashing mechanism because it gives you a lesser size of the hash code, that is 128 bit, and all those characters are hexadecimal characters, and then authentication will take place. So by this hash is generated easily in MATLAB. We have a data hash function available in MATLAB environment. There we can put the required hash method. Say I want to generate hash using MD5. In data hash I have to only put MD5. If I want to generate a data hash using SHA, so if you change only a method, SHA hash is generated. Now these are the shares, THVC shares, and their corresponding 128-bit hash. And we know that MD5 is irreversible type of hash. Irreversible means once I have generated a hash from given image, from that hash you cannot again regenerate that image. So it is irreversible. And again it is unique. Means first secret is unique. It will give you a unique hash. For the same secret, another hash cannot be generated. Every time you generate a hash, MD5 will give you the same sequence of characters for unique secret. Now these are all the hash we have generated for all the secrets, for all the shares and secrets. This is a sample hash, 32 character, hexadecimal character. Now this is the hash table for all the secrets, the third secrets. If you observe, first secret is beginning with BB, and these are the revealed secret hash. Again, this is indicating the same hash. But the revealed secret image and the original secret image were different. For both of them, we are getting the same hash. It means that the revealed secret is exact replica of original one. That is why we are getting mean square error as 0. Now this is a computational time required for SHA. We also experimented SHA, but it takes much more time for execution as compared to MD5 for all of the entities. We have generated MD5 hash for all the entities, key share, then share 1, share 2, up to user share. And it is a average CPU time consumption among MD5 as well as SHA, and it is demonstrated that MD5 consumes lesser amount of time. Now here are the 3 authentication models. In one-way authentication model, we have focused only the user share. That user is coming for authentication, producing his own share. It is in the form of image. It is getting converted into 32 character with the help of one-way hashing, MD5 hashing. Parallelly, the system is having user share. System will map its corresponding hash, and these two hash are matched. If they are matched properly, authentication is permitted. But this one-way authentication model is a public authentication model because no secret key is involved here. These are the snapshots of one-way authentication model. We are browsing here user share from this tab. This is the user share we have browsed. It is converted to the corresponding hash code. Then we display here the stored hash, and this stored hash is nothing but the hash generated. Both are equal, means authentication is permitted. Now this is quite public, it is private. Why? Because secret key is involved. Delta is nothing but a secret key as a key share, and it is a user share. This is a logical XOR operation by IEEE is equal to 1. If we use a modular diagram, is equal to 1 indicates a logical XOR. Then prevent secret is converted again into hash, and the system is supplying the normalized secret, which is again converted into hash, and matching process will determine whether to commit authentication or not. Now this is a third model based upon artificial neural network. We call it as a feed-forward perceptron neural network model. In this model, we have two layers. The input layer is having 32 neurons. Output layer is also having 32 neurons. Why 32? Because our hash code is of length 32. And when we apply the input to this neural network, first of all, input is to be normalized. So we normalize the input by multiplying with 100, so that my values of hash will fall within the range of 0 to 1. And then applying, initializing the network, assigning the transfer function. We assign log_seq as a transfer function to the first layer, and pure linear transfer function to the second layer. Then we train the network and simulated the network. These are the different iterations for which we got the performance gradient. We observe here that for number of iterations 40, we observe the better performance. This is the performance gradient, and best validation performance is observed at epoch 3. So these were the three authentication models, and this was our final contribution, that minimum distance associator. It is not yet associated with the authentication models, but concept is that the computation of ingredient distances among the user shares and the secret, so that we can determine which share is close to which secret. So by this minimum distance associator, the Euclidean norm helped us to determine the Euclidean distance. So we computed the Euclidean distance between user share and the secret, as well as Euclidean distances between the key share and the secret. So here in this table, say user share 1 is having minimum Euclidean distance with respect to secret 1 in this row. These are all the secrets, say 10 secrets. This is the minimum distance. We expect that the same key share K1 must have minimum distance with respect to the same secret S1. So here we observe that the key share K1 is having again minimum distance 1.11 with respect to the same secret. It is not the case that K1 is having a minimum distance with respect to S2. So minimum distance associated successfully determines that user share and key share both are associated with the same secret, and this can be easily incorporated into the authentication model. So this is a graph indicating that a secret near to 50 is having minimum distance with respect to user share, and a secret, again same secret at the same location, is having minimum distance with respect to a key share. So this is the comparison of authentication models. Two models are public authentication model, and another one two-way authentication model is a private. Finally, we are at the conclusion. Based upon objectives, we defined the conclusion that random secret generator algorithm we have defined is capable to generate a secret database of any length, and the length of secret again is undetermined, means you can generate a secret length any. Second conclusion I would like to state here that novel approach of layered encryption we have defined in the field of visual cryptography, which is earlier not defined in the literature. Threshold-based approach of hierarchical encryption remove the pixel expansion ratio, as well as it has removed the graying effect. The novel authentication models using threshold-based hierarchical approach are defined and they are compared. Feed-forward perceptron neural network model is observed as an intelligent model and comfortable with key share as well as the user share. And minimum distance associator associates the key share and user share with the same circuit. These are some future scopes I have enlisted here. The major scope of research lies in the authentication model as well as hierarchical encryption. Here we are focused on gray level as well as binary level encryption. We may go for color encryption, color secret encryption. Then another extension of this work include the investigation regarding increasing in the number of levels of encryption. Scope of research lies in the type of share which will provide meaningful shares. Then important extension of this work involves the concept of fuzzy inference system, that in determination of key share pixel value, fuzzy rules can also be incorporated, soft rules. Collaboration of multiple authentication models is suggested, like FFPNN model can be collaborated with two-way authentication model to give rise to a smart and intelligent authentication model using private key. And in case of irreversible hashing, MD5 hashing, if we get a hashing technique which gives us a lesser than 32 character hash, then that hashing technique can also be incorporated. These are the papers published. First paper is in the InterScience publisher, International Journal of Privacy, Security and Integrity. Another paper we have published in International Journal of Network Security and its Applications.
Has it been accepted the first paper?
Yes, sir, it is accepted, revised, and now proof editing is going on. Third paper is in ACEEE. It was published in 2011. ACEEE Journal of Network Security. These are the two IEEE conference papers which are available in IEEE digital library.
Since you discuss more on attacks, I mean, which kind of attack can break your system as proposed in this architecture? Did you discuss on attacks?
Yes, I analyzed two attacks.
Phishing kind of attacks?
Phishing I did not analyze. I have discussed with my guide about brute force attack as well as dictionary attacks. So,
Why not phishing?
I will include it.
Another thing is, how are you taking care of the distortion problem? I mean, images will expand and get distorted.
So in threshold-based approach, we have removed that expansion. We came to expansionless, and distortion is also very removed. Means in the second level we have a distortion, but when I want my secret, at that time distortion is removed.
Distortion is removed?
Yes, that's removed.
Okay, fine. This is a good work. Thank you very much. So, I think rest of the presentation is going to be done after lunch.